This video is kind of a big one for me. It is celebrating my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. It's crazy to think that 2 years have already passed and I cannot wait to make more content for you. But before we get into the April Plan With Me video, here is a flip through of my March setup. It has been uploaded here a couple of days ago because life got in the way, but I hope you still like it and maybe watch it after this video. I am absolutely obsessed with all the dainty drawings and the color combination is just making me so happy. But for now, my April setup. To celebrate my anniversary, I decided to redo the Macarons theme of my first ever Plan With Me video, just now in my current style. This has been one of my fastest setups to date, so I'm able to show you quite some of the parts in real time. I'm starting to draw florals in this warm orange Tombow color. I'm placing them within the little circles in the sketch. I'm starting with these so I can easily create depth by drawing the macarons behind them. When they are finished, I started on the first macaron with my favorite Lilac Tombow. First, I'm creating a base layer, and as soon as that is done, I'm going over the edges a couple of times to create a deeper tone of the lilac. I love that I can layer Tombows so I can get multiple hues of the same shade, which makes them look 10 times better in my opinion, especially when otherwise you have to look for a pen with the exact same hue to go over with it. It's just confusing. That I wanted some petals in front of the macarons as well, so I quickly switched to the green so I could still add it for the other macarons. Petals are shaped in such a basic way. While I'm making the stroke, I'm adding more pressure right about the middle while lifting it back up. It's very relaxing to do, and if it doesn't turn out perfect, that doesn't matter because they can be imperfect. Back to the macarons. I'm coloring in the circle. And again, outlining the edges by going over them again. I also want to quickly talk about the journal that I'm using. I'm working in the April Showers journal from Archer and Olive. It's in this gorgeous lilac shade, and if you want to have a journal like this as well, I do have an affiliate code. Use Amber's Notebooks 10 for 10% off your entire purchase, with which you can save some money and you can help me out with that as well. When I finish the last macaron, I'm going in with this gorgeous pink shade. The exact same goes for the pink ones as for the lilac ones. I started with a base layer and then went over the edges a couple of times to create some extra depth. Now back to the green. I'm adding some extra branches and leaves onto the page to fill it up a bit more and make it feel like a whole. These weren't in the sketch, so I just added them wherever I found it necessary or where I thought the page was a bit empty. And then it was time for the lightest shade of pink, with which I'm creating little dots to add some last final details to the drawing. For these, I'm using the bulleted nib of the Tombow so I can draw them a little bit more precisely. With some editing magic, I finished the title, and then it's time for the outlines. I started with the flowers and petals because at this point I wasn't sure what to do with the macarons yet. I'm creating the outlines very messily, and in the middle of the flower I'm just adding a little scribble to draw the crown. For the leaves, I'm going over the inside line followed by a line outside, often not matching completely with the colored background, which makes the drawing look more natural. When the greenery is finished, I started on the macaroons, and as I said before, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them as I hadn't practiced it before. Eventually, I decided to outline the main parts by going over it twice, and then hatching where the darkest parts were to give it some extra detailing. And for the round macaroons, I outlined them by going over the outside twice and drawing some broken lines for the inner circle. Now the drawing is finished, I can grab my scissors and cut in my Dutch door. For the background page, I'm drawing pink dots on the entire page. This part took forever, but it was actually worth it. It looks incredibly cute when they are together. Now the background is done, the cover page is finished, and we can move on to the monthly calendar. Again, I'm starting with the orange flowers. Followed by the green leaves. I just placed them wherever I thought they would look good. And then it's time for the lilac macaroons. By the pink ones. Lastly, I'm drawing in the little dots to make it feel like a whole. And now I can start outlining again with my 0.2 Micron Fineliner. When the outlines are done, I went over the sides twice. And with some editing magic, the title is done. followed by the highlights of the calendar with the lightest pink color. However, any color of the palette would have looked amazing, to be honest. It did take me some time to choose, but I went for the pink to make it a little bit more soft. Then it's time for the little swatches. I chose to do the pink shades and the lilac to make it a bit more muted rather than going for the orange and green as well. Now it's time for underlining the highlights of the calendar. And numbering them. And voila, the calendar is done as well. And lastly, my quote and gratitude page. I'm starting with inking the quote that says, "Happiness is only a macaron away," which got picked by one of my close friends because I honestly could not choose. There are so many cute dessert-related quotes. It's insane. I chose to go for a fake calligraphy since I don't have much time to practice right now, and it looks cleaner when doing it this way rather than doing it messily. To create the thick lines, I chose a Tombow 𝚬𝚎𝚕𝚘 hard tip pen. When the lettering has finished, it is time for the coloring. I won't bore you with the details because it is exactly the same as before, so sit down, grab your cup of tea, and relax for a minute. Now the quote page with, again, some editing magic. The title is finished, which is followed by highlighting every other day with the pink Tombow to make this page a bit more colorful. And lastly, the numbering of the page to finish it all off. And there it is, my April 2022 bullet journal setup. I'm so happy with how this theme turned out, and I think it's a great way to celebrate my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. I hope you like my video, and if you're new here, make sure to check out my other videos and maybe even like and subscribe. Comment down below what your theme is this month. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!